So guys, back to your Muscle World, and welcome to a video here today where it's another live stream question session, like the other day actually. Did quite a good one two or three nights ago. Anyway, so I thought on this one I've got a spare 30 minutes or so, 30 minutes or so. So I thought, you know what, I'm sitting around doing nothing. I can't really start anything because it'll take me longer to do 30 minutes. So I thought, well, I might as well go live and just put a video up here just to say, hello everyone, and answer a couple of questions I have regularly. And if you've got any other questions, then you can just sort of send them my way. Anyway, I hope you're all having a great day. I hope the life's treating you well. So the question I want to answer now is based around a lot of people who view my channel tell me that they're joining the military, things like that, and they want to get fit and they want to know how to train at home and things like that. So one of the questions I get asked is how do you train at home? How do you get fit? So you need to look at what you're training for. Everyone's got different goals. Like everyone's got different fitness levels, everyone's got different goals, and everyone needs to look at that, look what their goal is before they can sort of ascertain what what they need to do. And I would rather empower you to actually come up with your own ideas rather than say, Max, how do I get fit? How do I train for this? How do I train for that? Or having to go to pay some trainer to do it. I mean, if you want to do that, that's great, that's fine. But I would rather kind of give you the tools, give you the key to be able to develop your own systems, your own training programs that work for you, and that's what I've always done over the years. And I think that's a good thing to sort of look into. So when you're devising a training program, you need to look at what it is you want to achieve from it. So the military specifically, when you're joining the Army, Navy, Marines, or whatever, then you need to look at the type of things you need to be doing. So you need to be all-round fit. I mean, if you were, for example, training to be a footballer, training to be a sprinter, whatever, you need to look at that. You need to train for powerful ballistic exercises to be a good sprinter. If you wanted to be a powerlifter, you would have to train weightlifting. You'd have to train your squats, your deadlifts, your bench press, your specific training. With military, you need that all-round approach. You need to be fit to be able to do anything. You need to climb things. You need to be able to jump over things. You need to be able to swim. You need to be able to. So you need to be flexible. You need to be mobile. You need to have good cardiovascular ability as well. So these are things you need to consider. So you need to hit all those angles. So you need to break it down really and say, all right, how do I get cardiovascular fit? What are you going to be doing? What types of cardio are you going to be doing? You're predominantly going to be running. So you need to start running. You do a lot of running training. You need to be progressive with that. You need to gradually increase the mileage, duration, and also the intensity. So there's that one as well. You need to be able to do circuit-based training because you're going to be crawling through the mud. You're going to be doing press-ups, sit-ups, things like that to pass your tests. But the reason you do those is not just because you need to be good you need to pass the test, but because you need to be able to pull your body along the floor, up things, over things. So you need to be able to have a good strength to weight ratio and good muscular endurance. So it's not likely you're gonna have to go and deadlift, a tank or something like that. You're not gonna be able to do it. So you're not really gonna need to be doing heavy deadlifts. But you could do deadlifts, but you want to be not doing 1 rep maxes, but higher rep ranges. Now, a lot of people are training at home at the moment because of what's going on. A lot of gyms are closing. I know in England, this week, they're going to be locking down as well. So a lot of people will be training at home. So with that in mind, then you need to devise your at-home training program. And it is true, you can get ridiculously fit at home. You don't need fancy equipment. You don't need, gyms, barbells. I mean, I know I've got kit here that I train with at home. I've got a gym membership. If I want to go train in the gym, I can do that as well. But you don't want to limit yourself. If you limit yourself to say, well, I can't train because the gym's shut, that's up there. You've just defeated yourself then. The gym closure hasn't stopped you from training. It's just stopped you from going to the gym. So once you get that in your head and you look at it, it's all about mindset. It's all about going, right, okay, gym's closed, that's fine. All it is a tool. And I've said this before, the gym, the barbell, the treadmill, whatever, they're tools. And they're how you use it. So if you're a tradesman, you're a workman, you need to do a job. You're not just going to use the same wrench for everything, are you? You're going to use different tools for different things. You might have a whole toolkit. You might have a garage full of tools, a van full of tools. And if that's the case, that's exactly the same with fitness and your training. You've got so many different things. Even if you were just locked in one room, if you were a prisoner, you could still get fit. And there's been well documented cases of prisoners who have become stupidly fit just by doing press-ups and things like that in their room. And they've Charles Bronson, I think it was. I think that's his name anyway. I'm pretty sure it was. I mean, he's well known. He's one of the strongest guys ever. And he just used to do press-ups. He'd do fingertip press-ups. He'd do stuff on chairs. He'd do handstand press-ups. And he just, because he spent a lot of time in solitary confinement, and that's what he did to keep himself from, to keep himself occupied, really, because he was stuck in a flipping room. So you need to be aware of that, all right? So it's about mindset. It's about working towards something, having a plan, taking it into action, and just don't be put out by the fact that you can't get into the gym. So forget about the gym for the time being and just look what you need to do. You can still do circuit training, still do press ups. You can go to a tree and do pull-ups. You haven't got a pull-up bag, go to a tree and do pull-ups. I did a video months ago when somebody said, I can't do pull-ups, I haven't got a bar, I haven't got this, that, the other. And I said, well, have you got an attic in your house? And they said, yeah, you got an attic, so you can do it from, you can open that and do pull-ups from there. So it's just about thinking outside the box. And to be honest with you, these challenges are great. We've got it so easy at the moment. We've got everything. You go 15 years ago, when I used to go to a gym, when I went to the gym 15 years ago, they were rubbish. They were terrible. Even in the military, you go in and it would be a cable machine like that. You could do bicep curls and presses, and that was it. Nothing in there. Might be a set of old dumbbells in a corner. Now gyms are like the gyms that are out there now that you can go to for £20 a month. That they're like only top athletes had access to those facilities. Back when I first started training. So you've got so much now. We're all so spoiled for choice, but we just need to be able to go, right, if we haven't got that, we can still do this. You can still do that. I used to work on the ships and I'd be locked in a room and sometimes I just have a resistance band and I'd be able to do a workout, but it's about using what you've got and focusing on what you've got and not what you haven't got. That's a very important thing. And once you've got that mentality in mind, you can do it. You can train any way you want. You can get fit anytime, anywhere you want, and it's a very liberating experience. And then once you adapt to it, then you adapt this new routine you come up with, and it takes about 2 weeks to adapt to a new routine. So you adapt to it, you get used to it, you do it over and over and over and over again. It just becomes normal for you. And then next thing you know, then you're laughing, you're joking. It's fantastic. It's all good. Anyway, I've waffled on a little bit there about that. So let's have a look at some of these. I think I've seen a few questions come through. I've seen a few messages. Hopefully, it's not hate mail, people telling me that I'm a waste of time and all that. Okay, greetings from El Salvador. Wow, okay, I think that's the first time somebody from El Salvador has spoken to me. Sergio, hello, my friend, how are you? Universe 68, amazing, thank you. Well, I've got spare time, so I figured I may as well make the most of it, and if I can answer a question, engage with people, because it's been a while since I actually have done that regular. So I really appreciate you saying that. Thank you so much for watching and dropping by. Thomas has asked me, what's the best way to improve pull-ups? You find push-ups really easy, but pull-ups are I'm not going to say that word because YouTube might not be happy with me if I say that. No, you're absolutely right there. I think a lot of people do have their kind of, pull-ups are tough exercises, and a lot of people do have Achilles heel sort of thing. Like for me, it's sit-ups. Like I'm good at press-ups. I can not do press-ups for so long. And then, I get a year off doing press-ups to go back and still be half decent at them. Sit-ups, unless I do them all the time, then I'm terrible at them. And you've probably seen some of the fitness tests that I've done here, like at the Gurkha one I did quite recently. I was terrible at sit-ups. I did the Royal Marines virtual pre-joining fitness test when it first came out, without training, without practicing for it. And I like to do a lot of these things without practicing for it because I think it's fun. And I was terrible at sit-ups and the plank because I hadn't done them. But after a bit of training, I think about a month's training, it was a piece of cake. So what that means is you need to look at your weakness. So pull-ups is your weakness. You're good at press-ups, you're good at sit-ups, you're good at everything else. So when you're training, you need to make pull-ups a priority. Chances are, because you're bad at them, you probably don't like doing them. And particularly if you're training in the gym, for example, you don't want to look rubbish at them, particularly when there's somebody over there and he's repping them out and he's making them look easy. So what you need to do is you need to just make it your focus. So whether it's called the priority principle, is when you make a specific exercise or a specific movement the focus of your workout. So what you could do is every time you do a workout is you just do a few sets of pull-ups, either at the start or in between sets. So even if you were doing, say, a run day or swimming or something like that, you just go and you just do a few sets of pull-ups just to get used to doing the movement. Because a lot of this is now you're training your brain to do the movement as well. So you're getting the neuromuscular pathways involved to make your body more efficient at doing the movement. So that's what I would suggest you do. You have days off as well, but you're just trying to increase the amount of time you're doing it, and your body just gets naturally better at it. Once you get to around 12 repetitions, and you can do 12 good reps, maybe 3 or 4 sets, 12 good reps, I would suggest adding a little bit of weight as well. But not, don't go bananas with the weight. You want to start off with a very small amount of weight. Now to do weighted pull-ups, you need to have something like, I've just got a prop here. You can get something like this, which is like I bought this off Amazon, quite cheap. You know, something like that, or you can make your own out of a chain or a rope or something like that. All you do is you tie it around your waist and you get a small weight, it could be anything, like a small weight plate or a small dumbbell. I got the load there behind me. And you just attach that, you just do a few reps. But I would start off with literally 2.5 kilogram plate, or the smallest one you can. If you haven't got access to that, you can get a backpack and maybe put like something in there. But when you wear a backpack, it does restrict your shoulder movement slightly as well. So a weighted vest or having something around your waist like a rope. So coming up with some kind of idea like that would probably be a good idea. Just make sure it's nice and secure if you are holding the dumbbell there, because you wouldn't want to drop it and land and go through the floor or anything like that. But yeah, it is just practice with those. And if you're able to do the 12, just move on to the weighted ones, because what happens is when you add weight to an exercise, you suddenly have to do it without weight. It just becomes a lot easier. But yeah, good luck with that. Thank you so much for that question. Okay, Salman Mirza, he says he's an old fart. You said it, plyometrics, yeah, on also been doing some isometric exercises and trying to pull immovable objects from the ground again. Well, I would say with plyometrics, depends how old you are, depends also your training background, if you've got joint problems, things like that. If you're new to training, if you're overweight, these are things you need to consider when you do plyometrics. From a beginner point of view, I'm going to say it's what I'd say to a beginner, and I would say build up to it. Don't just jump in and start doing box jumps and jumping on things and depth jumps and all these sort of things. Focus on just gradually increasing. So I would say do a few months of just body weight exercises, squats, things like that. Now, I'm assuming that you're healthy, you've got no medical issues or anything like that, or no joint pain, no joint problems or injuries, things like that. Okay. If you have, just make sure you speak to your doctor before you do any form of exercise. I always say that. But going straight into plyometrics, I would say build up to them. And then just you gradually sort of do it. So you can strengthen it with isometrics. That is a good way of doing it. And there's two different types of isometrics here. You've mentioned overcoming isometrics, which is pulling an immovable object. So that would be, say, if you had a tree or something like that, you could put a rope around the tree, you could try and pull it, and you're not going to be able to move it. You're physically not going to be able to move it. It becomes real challenging, but you can also really increase your strength by doing that as well. So that would be overcoming isometrics. You can't move the object. So I would say, yeah, that's a good one to begin with. But I would also say as well, you could look at yielding isometrics as well, where like you would say you could hold a press up position, for example, in one spot, or you could hold a dumbbell in one spot as well, and hold that for a longer period of time. Because with the overcoming isometrics, you won't be able to hold it for as long or pull back for as long as you would be able to with the yielding isometrics. So overcoming isometrics will increase strength and power, and yielding isometrics would be good for things like endurance or increasing muscle size. But I would not take out, your good old full range of motion exercises. So still have your eccentric and your concentric training as well. Isometric, you add on top of those, ideally, so you get the best of both worlds. We get all three then, really. So you're not just focusing on one area, you're working on multiple areas. And I think adding that variety to your training would certainly be beneficial. I know some people are saying as well that the isometrics are good for improving joint strength as well. I was not 100% sure that's true or not, but I just remember reading a study on it a while ago. But I would say just do some more research in that area if that's something you want to do. But definitely an option for your training, but it would depend on the individual as to what sort of training program or exercises that you would be selecting. So there's not really much thing as a bad exercise or bad program unless it's like completely bad, but it's all specific to the individual, and I think that's what I'm trying to sort of convey with today's session. All right, I hope that's how to answer your question. I hope that's helped. It's probably giving you more questions, but it's these are the things you need to be asking yourself, because if somebody just random fitness guy just sends out a lot of programs to people, and I know they do it, they sell programs, and half the time it's just a copy and paste job, and they're sending someone in the same PDF that they sent the next person. I can tell you a story about a trainer actually that he had in his head like a template program that he gave just to everyone. All these new people joining the gym, he wouldn't even listen to what they say. He would just give them this program. It would be a little bit. It was a general program, a little bit on the cross trainer, a little bit on the chest press, lat pull down. All these different exercises. But he wouldn't actually listen to what they say. So the point where somebody actually came up to them and they said, "Right, I'm training to do a 10k or a half marathon or running event." The complete beginner, but this is what they wanted to do, and then he put some of this program. and they didn't give them any running or anything like that. This person was okay to run. They were fine. They didn't have any. They weren't overweight, or they didn't have any joint pain or problems or anything like that. They were fine, physically fine to run. They wanted to run. They had been practicing running, but they just wanted a running program. And he gave them the same template program, which involves cross trainer and chest press and lat pull downs. And she was like, "Well, hang on a minute. I'm not a personal trainer, but shouldn't I be doing some running?" So I had to make a training program. But these people do exist, so you need to make sure that your training program is specific for you, and just educate yourself and just be sort of aware of what's what and what's good and what works for you. And a lot of the time, just trying things and seeing how you get on, and gradually starting off here and gradually or building it up, increasing with progressive overload is usually the best way to do that. Just make sure you're being safe as well, and you're warming up, you're cooling down, you're stretching, things like that. I hope that helps. Thank you for that question, Harry Smith, my man. How are you? What did you do in the Royal Marines, and what was your favourite part? Well, it's quite hard to say actually what I did, because I was in there for like 4.5 years. So I did quite a lot of things. I wasn't just sort of sitting around doing one thing. I did actually do a video specifically on this, and it might be worth checking that one out. I think it's entitled Life After Royal Marines Recruit Training. I believe that's the name of the title. I did it about 2 years ago, where I literally just went, well, everyone's got a different experience, because I kept getting asked this question, what's it like after training? Everyone's got a different experience. But why did I did this video? To basically say, look, this is what I did. Everyone's going to have a different experience. Some people have done more, some people have done less. It depends on where you serve and what you do as well. So I would say the best thing to do is check out that video there. Just go on the Google search, YouTube search, and just type in Muscle World Life After Royal Marines Recruit Training, and it will appear there. There's also a playlist. I've got a Royal Marines training playlist as well, because a lot of my videos have been devoted to that subject. So I have had a lot of questions on it. Hope that helps. Otherwise, go into detail, but then I got photos and things like that as well. So it might be worth taking a look at that. I think you might enjoy that one if you haven't seen it already. Thanks, Harry, for that question. Roger Schwarzinger. Let's have a look at that question there. So, would you increase your muscle strength and size more on keto or on a regular diet if you're eating the same amount of protein and calories? Personally, I would probably, it depends what you mean by regular diet. If you're saying a balanced diet, I would opt for that one. And that's my personal, I'm not a dietitian, like I say that, I'm not a qualified dietitian, but from my personal experience, I would go with the balanced diet, the regular diet on that one, purely because that works for me. But I would like for you to try both ways and just see what works. Because there's no good with me saying, oh yeah, I think this will work, this won't work. I've done keto style, I haven't done the exact full keto diet, but I've done that style diet just to try it. I didn't enjoy it at all. I didn't get on with it at all. For me, balanced diet tends to be the best way. For me, if I want to lose weight, I'll just reduce my carbohydrates and up my protein. If I want to put on weight, I'll just up my carbohydrates and just up my calories in general. That's the way I've always played it, and I've always been quite simple in that respect. And I found that that's just what I've enjoyed. So, like I said, I'm not a qualified dietitian, but from my experience, I would go with the balanced one. But I would just say, try it, find out, and then let me know. Report back to me. You give it, a few months on one diet, the keto, a few months on a regular diet, as if you called it, and then just go from there. Hope that helped, my man. Right, thanks, Roger. Thanks for the question. So we get loads of people texting me as well. I'm gonna try and get rid of those. David Jones, hello. Can't beat a bit of Charles Bronson, aka Michael Peterson, a bit of a nutter, but he liked training. I did have his book. I believe I read his book a few years ago actually as well. It was a good one. That is interesting book. Robin, Max, would you do more nutrition videos? If you want to, I mean, I could. I will say that, like I said before, I'm not a qualified dietitian, but I've got a very simple approach to diet. It works for me. Some people they like to have a little bit more complicated. I'm happy to do a video on that. I've done a couple where I've talked about things like what to eat to get a good pump on and things like that. I haven't really done any videos specifically on my diet. I could talk about things if you want me to. If you want me to do a diet video, a nutrition video, let me know. But be quite specific as well, because it's a broad subject. I mean, is it nutrition for building muscle? Is it my nutrition, or is it nutrition that me talking about different diets? If you're being specific what you want, let me know in the comments, and I'll certainly get to work with a video. Thank you for that. CIA, will you join a Delta Force? There's no chance of me joining a Delta Force. I'm wrong nationality. Excuse me. Wrong nationality. too old, not fit enough, and I'm not in the US military. But thank you for that. David Jones, when are you going to do the Murph challenge? I'm going to do it. Dave, a few people have asked me about this one, mate, and I do intend to do the Murph challenge. I need to get myself a weight vest. Once I get a weight vest, I believe it's 10 kilograms. I'm going to go and do it. I'm going to do the mile run, 100 pull-ups, 200 press-ups, 300 squats, and then another mile run. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to make a good video on that one. I'm really looking forward to that one. And I'm going to smash that one. Looking forward to it. But I think we should all do it together, actually. I think we should all do a Murph and maybe put a competition out there, see what times everyone's getting. Because I think you should give it a go as well, David. Survey 94, you're starting a weight loss journey. Good luck with it. I hope that you do well with that, and keep me posted. Just let me know in the comments how you're getting on with it, and I want to hear the updates on it. Dominique Iglesias, have you ever considered attempting UKSF selection? No, I did not. Like I said, I'm not in the military anymore. I'm too old and I'm too unfit to do it now. It's not what I want to do. But when I first joined the military, it was something I wouldn't have minded doing, but I think I got a bit disillusioned with the military when I joined up, and I just ended up leaving at kind of the earliest opportunity I could. Ideas I had when I joined didn't really kind of happen. I was quite happy, I was quite comfortable, and I just got to the point where I decided I wanted to move on. And that just happens with me. I do like most jobs I've had done for about 2 or 3 years, and I've gone, I need to go do something else. I always feel like there's something else I should be doing. I just think I want to experience as many kind of things as I want to, really. So I just felt that becoming a civilian, leaving the military was just kind of calling me. And I thought, it's time to move on, do some other things. And that's kind of what happened. But yeah, it was an idea. It was something I wouldn't have minded doing. And looking back, I wouldn't mind giving it a go. But, this didn't happen. So yeah. Thank you, Dominic. Nitro X Gaming. As a 15-year-old trying to put on weight, stroke muscle, what things would you do in terms of diet and workouts? I would say just get into a good routine of exercise, build a good solid foundation, and just be patient. It's going to be a few years before you start to really start kind of filling up. So build a foundation, make sure you're getting used to your movements, start off with bodyweight exercises, and just get into the discipline of making the habit. And once it happens at an early age, if you just get in the habit of training 3-4 times a week, then you're going. Sorry, someone outside. Then you're going to recognise that that there's you're going to get in the habit. It's becoming easier for you to get used to going to the gym and just training hard. Focus on your form. Don't overdo it. I know like when I was young anyway, all I wanted to do was lift really heavy weights. And I remember we used to go and one of my friends had like a weights bench in his brother's house or something, and then we'd have a few beers and we'd be like, we used to be in a band. We'd go to his brother's room when he wasn't there and see how much we could lift on the full weight stack. But you can still do that. Guys are going to be competitive, particularly the younger. You've got all the testosterone there, which is great, but make the most of it, and just don't do anything stupid to the point where you're going to injure yourself. Build up progressive overload, focus on the basics, focus on the foundation, and gradually increase your weights, and you will get stronger as a result. With your diet, just make sure you're eating a nice, balanced, healthy diet, and you're you're just on top of it. Learn about it, educate yourself on it, read up on what protein is, what carbohydrate, what the macronutrients are, what you need, and focus on that. And don't worry about supplementation or anything like that. Okay, forget about that. Just look at food, nutrition, diet. Learn about what your body needs and just get sort of used to that. Find out what you enjoy as well and just experiment. But forget about supplements for the time being. That's all later on down the line if you really want to do that. But you don't need it. They're supplements. Okay, so focus on the basics and foundation. Hope that helps. Okay, Survey 94. He's 5'7", around 200 pounds. Is it possible to achieve a good physique by doing combat movements, focusing on diet? Yeah. How old are you? That would be another consideration. But yeah, you could do 100%. You could do that, and for your cardio, I'm guessing you mean things like going out running, biking, things like that. And yeah, I would say if you want to burn the fat, it's good to do that on top of it, but you don't actually need to. I mean, I went about 10 years without doing any form of cardio. You could do circuit training with your weights, slightly lighter weights. You could do that. You might enjoy that a little bit more. But yeah, you've got to definitely consider the cardiovascular and what that's going to do. You could just reduce your diet. Your calorie intake could be a very similar thing. So totally up to you. Everyone needs different, but you just do what you enjoy as well. But yeah, hope that helps. Taboo Bus. Hi, I'm from another European country. Lived in England for 8 years. Want to join the Marines at 15. Want to join at 18. I'm eligible. Yeah, if you're a citizen living in the country, you should be fine. As long as you pass all their requirements. Best thing to do is just give them a call or ask them a question on like Facebook or something like that. Salman, thank you, mate. Still impressed with the Marine press up. It's double saddle up challenge. Thank you very much. Best tip for somebody who wants to join the forces, I would say, is just be disciplined and just be tough. Really, you get used to push yourself, get used to being wet, get used to being cold, and just get used to just cracking on with things. If you're wet, cold, or whatever, tired, just getting on with it. And also listening to people as well, so that when you're told what to do, you just do it and you take things on board. That'd be a good thing, I think, to sort of a good tip for you. I think I lost my train of thought, lost my words a bit there. Right, Royal Marine training, the hardest thing I ever did. No, I don't think it was actually. Not the single most thing. I mean, longest it was pretty hard, but I've had some civilian jobs that have just been so mentally draining. I've been even more tired than I was then. It's more physical than anything, but there's been other jobs I've had where you just mentally just zapped. So it's different, and it depends on you as well. Some people are really good at fitness stuff, and then they might really struggle with like all the multitasking stuff you do in other jobs. So I wouldn't say it was the hardest thing I've done. No, it was tough, and it was kind of it builds a foundation, but it wasn't the hardest thing ever. Thank you, Joe. Okay, Jack. Oh, Zeeth. Not sure I'm saying that right. Hey there. Hello. Jack, how do you have any advice to boost press ups? I can't seem to get above 30 at 35. Have you tried? I did a video on improving press ups quite recently. Have a look for that. I think it's called something like how I built press ups or something like that. I just scroll down my videos, my recent ones. It was about 2 or 3 weeks ago I posted it. But yeah, what I would say you need to do is a certain exercise you want to be doing. If you just, again, I'm guessing at the moment you're just doing press ups and that's like your only pushing exercise. I'm assuming that. If that's the case, keep doing those, that's fine. But you could add other things in as well. You could add decline press ups where you raise your feet slightly just to make it a little bit harder. You could do dips, bar dips, because you're increasing the amount of your body weight that's being used there. If you've got gymnastic range, you can still do dips on those. What that's going to do is really going to increase the intensity on the muscle. You can do things like techniques called rest pause sets. So if you've got a bench press, you can do rest pause sets on the bench press with a heavier weight. So you do a certain amount of repetitions and you rest it. Explain it more in that video, so have a look for that one. I think that'll really help you out on that. But yeah, you just need to look at, don't just keep doing the repetitions and only the repetitions of press ups and try to add and add and add. Use other techniques. So you could use, like if you start doing stuff like weighted press ups, also just do some things that are harder and more challenging, because then when you go back to doing normal press ups, you should be able to bust up a few more because your body will used to be doing a harder thing. So yeah, keep doing the press ups in forms of things like circuit training, but you could also do more strength-based exercises like the dips on a lower rep range. So just to challenge your muscles a little bit more, particularly your triceps as well. So dips are really good for doing your triceps. So I hope that one helps. Cheers, Jack. Okay, you're following calisthenics these days, Steve. Well done. Hello, Liam1232. Good man. Ian Romy Michael. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly. Hi, if you were to rejoin the military, would you prefer to join the Paras or Royal Marines? Well, it's not going to happen. But if I did, it would be the Marines. Nez, hello there, Nez. How are you? George Lingard. I'm 14 and admire the RMC. Any tips on getting fit as a team? Yes. Circuit training, bodyweight exercises, and plenty of running and swimming, and just getting used to exercising. Keep moving, climb trees, do all these sort of things, and just have fun while you're doing it as well. Find a sport, whether it's skateboarding, football, rugby, whatever, and just do it. And I would say that's the best thing you can possibly do as well. And if you want to get involved with your friends as well, do that. Have a bit of fun. Make it a competition if you want to. If you're that way inclined, some people, with the guys, whatever, run up a hill and have a race or whatever. Go boxing, circuit training, whatever you want to do. Just keep it fun and something that's going to get you involved and just keep you training and keep you going and keep you motivated. That would be my advice there. Chris McJennett, how are you, buddy? All right, good to hear you. Good to see you. Thomas Holmes, my dream to become an RMC, applying in the new year. Your videos are really helpful, dude. Just want to make sure I'm super fit before I apply. Oh, amazing. Thank you so much. I've heard it can take over a year after you apply, so be aware of that when you're looking at your training. So I'm glad my videos are helping. David, got to say, you're a great channel. Did you say you were in a band? Thanks, David. Yeah, I was in a punk band. We weren't very good. I was a guitarist and a singer, and yeah, there were some good memories. Really, real good fun. Liam, hi. Do you know one of your videos went viral on TikTok? Was it the one with the steel bar bend? Somebody sent me that when I didn't make the video. Someone stole my video and they didn't credit me, which was a bit of a shame, really. But yeah, I was aware of that. I'm assuming it was the steel bar bend. Liam, if it's not that one, can you let me know what else it was? Send me a link if you want. Yeah, not only no one can pronounce my username, so it's like a secret. One day I'll get it. I'll keep trying. Can you do the Green Beret fitness test for a video? I'm assuming that's the American Green Berets, American Special Forces. I will do some research. I don't know anything about that. I will do some research and find out what they've got. If you know what it is, let me know in the comments. But I will have a look at the Green Beret fitness test and give it a go. Chris McJennett, who's the toughest guy you know? It is a bloke called McJennett. Chris, he's the toughest guy person I know. Jack, thank you for answering. We'll check out the Pressive video. Excellent. Drop me, when you do watch it, Jack, just have a look. Drop me a message in the comments on that video and just let me know what you think. Shane, are you a PT? If you are, could you help me lose fat and build muscle? I'm a fitness instructor, but if you want, drop me a message and we'll have a chat. Shane, thank you very much. Nez, we got a cat in a box. I'm sure we've got plenty of those. There's 6 of them running around. They've been acting like crazy today. Taboo bus. So do I need British citizenship to join the RMC? I wouldn't quote me on anything to do with recruitment like that. I don't know the requirements. Have a look on our website. I think that's probably the best thing to do, because I don't like to, if I don't know the answer to a question, I'd rather just say I don't know rather than just try and make it up. But I think you might need to be, there are certain criteria that you need to meet. But have a look at the website. I'm sorry I'm not able to answer that one properly. But I'm not involved in, I'm not affiliated to the recruitment things. And it was like 20 years ago, no, 15 years ago, or 16 years ago that I went through the application process myself. So things may have changed. So just check on their website just to be 100% clear on that, mate. Yeah, it was that one. I got like 500k likes. Didn't even give you credit. I know, right? You know, at least put a link or a channel name. Do you know what I mean? Well, I think that's the thing with TikTok. I'm not much of a user on there, but they just don't seem to care about copyright or anything like that. The thing with YouTube is, if somebody uses my video, I get notified about it, and I can either take it down or I can keep it up. So, 9 times out of 10, if somebody just puts a credit on it, it's normally all right. Who goes to deployments more between RM and Paris? RM always assigned to ships. Not always, but it's something that that they do. So you might be unlucky if you spent a lot of time on the ships, or unless you like the ships. But yeah, I'd probably say it's probably about the same. I'm not sure. I was deployed most of my time when I was in the Marines. I can't speak for Paris. I don't really know many of them, but both busy units. Thanks for that question. Alfie, did you enjoy your days as a Marine? Yeah, looking back, real good memories. Did enjoy them. At the time, it was like, you have a little whinge about things, but looking back, yeah, it was pretty good, to be honest with you. Tango, Mike, I'm going into Green Beret soon. Green Berets are American Special Forces that deploy on enemy lines and do guerrilla warfare. They're the equivalent to the SAS. Excellent. Well, I'll have a go. Let me know what the fitness test is. If you do, if not, I'll have a look at the go online, do a bit of research for it, and then try and make a good video, because that sounds like a good bunch of fitness tests. It's Z the athlete. Taboo bus. Cheers, mate. Thank you. Liam, PT at my gym is an ex-Marine, and I'm thinking about asking him to train me. Give it a go. Have a chat with him, but have a chat with him and just say, look, time your goals. He might even offer you a taster session, a free session. So it's worth looking into that. Right, so that's about 30 minutes now. I said I have only time for about 30 minutes. Thank you all so much for watching. If you've got anything you want to ask now, just quickly bash something away in the comments and I'll do my best to answer it for you. But I would say have a very, very, very good day. Thanks for joining me. Leave any questions in the comments that you want and I'll answer them in a future video. Take care of yourselves. Have a fantastic day. All the best, and I'll see you soon.